Hi, everybody. This has been a week of lots of dyeing and lots of spinning. It's been super fun, and I don't even really know what footage I have, so I'm just going to put it all on there. But one thing I wanted to show you first is a cup cozy that I made. Now, I still have coffee in my cup, so I don't know how successful I'll be at doing this. But I was using a bowl cozy, you know, the kind that have the four little points, and they're very popular now. They're wonderful for bowls. I was putting that around my big coffee cup every morning, and it just was a little awkward. It didn't fit right, and I kept on thinking, can I design one that would fit a cup better? Now, I don't think this is the final version, and I made it to go around this big mug, which has a bigger base than it does a top and straight sides. This is, let me get it off this other. This is what I ended up designing. Now, I don't like it. This is too high. Well, you see, this is where the handle goes in. This is too thick. I need to have just a smaller band here at the top and cut off some of this excess. I do like the fact that it lowers here, so it makes it easier for drinking. You don't want fabric or anything right there on the lip of the cup when you're drinking. This is an oval. I would say it kind of looked like after I cut this out, almost like a baby bib. Okay. Um, and I really shaped it to fit this mug. You have to slide the mug in like that. I'm trying to talk louder because I can't find the receiver for my microphone, and so I can't use my microphone. Not that I was using it very much, but so this is what it looked like, but it's a little bit, it's too big still. Um, I kind of like this side. You can see where it was an oval, and I folded it up and I crossed it over and I tacked it right here and did the same thing on the other side. It does make it kind of bulky on the side, but it just keeps it warmer. But the cup that it works best on, now let me see if I can get it on here. This has coffee in it. There you go. It really fits this cup, which is smaller at the base and bigger around here. I still want it to be less fabric here, although it's not a bad thing. And it makes it easy to drink from, see, because the sides are lower. I do like the look of this. I was thinking of taking out the extra bulk, which is under here. Let me take it out again. You see where the extra bulk is? You could almost stick a tea bag in there. But I like the look of that. So what do you think? If I get rid of some of this extra top, any other ideas, any improvements you think I could make? I was going to do like little darts all the way around, and then when I just overlapped this, I thought, ooh, I like the look of that. So it's up to the lip on this side. See, it's up to the lip on this side, gives you room for drinking here and on the other side. And then if I could just get rid of this. I didn't make a template. I don't have a paper template. I really wasn't sure if it was going to work, and that's why I didn't videotape the making of it. I was like, I don't want all that extra footage that I just have to throw away. But if I do another one, which I might, then I'll bring you in on the making of it. But those of y'all who are seamstresses out there, or tailors, or whatever you want to call it, would already know how to do this kind of thing. This, I just cut a slit, and then I cut a diagonal to kind of to four corners, and then I folded it all under, and then I did a nice strong zigzag on each corner. Can you see that? That seemed to work real well to finish off those edges. Okay, so one cup cozy down. Now let's look at some more fiber. For those of y'all who are sick of fiber, I do apologize for the fiber explosion in my studio. Here's my desk full of dyed fiber and much of it put into Rolags, or really just into cloud. I just grab some of this and I don't try to keep the whole Rolag. And I thought I would talk a little bit about color because the most interesting thing happened. Um, you see, a lot of it is variations of yellow. And you might look at, say, the lichen number 2, or maybe even there's the first onion. Here's the second onion. Here is the red onion. Now, I know there's some light coming in the window, but if you looked at those two, you might not think there was a whole lot of difference between them. They both, if you look at this red onion, it's, pretty yellowish. It's darker than it is on the camera, kind of a muddy browny yellow. And so I didn't spin any of it because I wasn't excited about that color, and I had a lot of other prettier color. Here's the bigger bag of it. So there it is. Anyway, finally I was looking for some more variation on my bobbin, and so I started doing the red onion, and there it is. You see that olive green? That's that red onion. Isn't that amazing? And so I've got lots of shades of yellow and orange. I guess I wish that this camera would pick it up better. This is much more vibrant orange, and down here. But that green, isn't that just amazing? Now I had a commenter mention, and this was so true, that she got deeper shades when she would dye her already spun yarn rather than when she would try to dye fiber. And I found that to be true too, but I love dealing with fiber and I'm eager to get it dyed, so I don't want to have to spin it all before I dye it. And I want to be able to spin mixed shades like I'm doing here, so I can't really do it that way. I have to dye it before I put it onto the single. And but what I'm finding is that spinning it and getting the twist into those fibers concentrates the color all into one spot. So when you have, sorry, these bags are all going everywhere. So when you have a fiber like this, where all the different fibers are separated from each other, the color is not as condensed as it is when you do it like this. Wad it up, and it does get more of a green to it. It's just interesting to me. I'm fascinated that when I spin that, it turns into an olive green, which olive green is one of the colors I've been wanting. I don't have enough red onion right now to do more of it. So, but this will make a good bit of roving of Rolags, and I'll have enough. But today I'm going to go outside and I'm going to look at my pear tree again, and a crabapple tree, other apple trees, and my ornamental cherry tree, and see if any of them are starting to bud out or anything. If I could get some spring. Oh, you see who's over there? Look, she loves looking out that window. Anyway, see if any of them are budding out and have some new growth that I might be able, especially the crabapple. My husband hates that tree. So if I took some off of that, it'd make him happy. So anyway, I thought I would share that little piece of information that the colors always deepen and intensify when you spin the dyed fiber. And so it makes sense that if you just dyed the singles or the plied yarn, that yes, they would be deeper. Fascinating. So more later. These are crabapple twigs cut from a tree in our yard. These are the little suckers that are coming out early in the spring. Here's the crabapple tree. It blooms at the craziest times of year. It's also got some nice lichen on it. I love this tree, but my husband doesn't like it at all. Okay, let's get some more and then I'll go see the pear tree. This may be a bounty for dyeing. I've got some more dandelions. These are cedar apple rust galls. But since they're galls, I'm hoping they might give me good color. And underneath there, you see the crabapple sticks. Let's go in and soak some stuff. A little bit of kitchen experimentation. I've brought these I forget what they're called. I think they're cedar apple rust galls. They grow on your cedar tree if you also have apple trees. Now, this is just a little cedar sprig that it encapsulated. You can just pull that right out. It's not really attached. And I made sure to get the ones that were, sounds terrible. They look ugly on the tree. These are the fresh ones. These must be like this year's or last year's. There were other ones that were a dark grayish brown. These have more of a red tint to them, so I think they're fresher. We will see. I'm chopping them up very small. They cut easily. Let me show, when I get this bunch cut up, I'll show you what they look like. Okay, they look like that. When I first cut them, they're kind of white looking. And then after just a few minutes in the pot, they're already turning brown. I'm going to finish cutting these up and then look into my books and see exactly how people recommend handling oat galls. I'm assuming it would be the same for these galls. I don't know for sure, but I'm going to give it a try. I don't know if I should put boiling water, simmering water, cold water, you know, soak them for a week or do it right away. We'll have to look and see what the experts say. This is the first time we've used this little burn pit, fire pit, since I moved it out of the pasture and into the house lot. It's here in the middle of the yard under the pecan trees. Today I'm just using it to burn up all of the branches that have fallen in the yard over the winter, and it's quite a bit. Maybe not the whole house lot, but the majority of it. It's such a pretty fire. I love doing this in the winter. Okay, I thought I'd better make a video record of what this yarn is this fiber is, before I forget. Now, all of this in the middle was dyed for a very long time, about 35 hours maybe, in a dye bath of the cedar apple rust galls that had been chopped up. And it is going to be a beautiful, deep rosy pink. When I get it spun, it's going to be closer to this darker, where the fibers are condensed, rather than this pale stuff. Okay, so that's going to be, I think, really pretty. I took some of that dye out and added a lot of rust water to it, and put some plain fiber in, and I got this gray. Now I put like 4 tablespoons of rust in there, in probably maybe a gallon of water. And so this was just plain white. Then I took some of this yarn and put it into the rust. And I got this, which I think is going to end up being a little bit more of a purple. Yeah, you can kind of see that over here when I spin it up. That might be nice. There's not a lot of that. Then after I had taken this out, I had a lot of the fat left. The rust. I don't want to call it rust because that makes me confused with the iron, but the cedar apple vat. And I added a little bit of iron water to it, like a tablespoon and a half to a couple of gallons. And then I put this in there for maybe a half hour. And it's just a beautiful pale pink. I think that's good. With a little bit of, it's got a little yellow in it from these golden locks. And so it still has some VM too, I'm sorry to say. I've been picking at it a lot because it had a good bit in there. Like this piece still has a lot of VM. Anyway, but I think that's going to be just gorgeous. And then I'm leaving another little bit in that combined vat a little longer to see if I can get anything darker than this, but it will be different from this because it'll have the rust in it. So in addition to all of that, I still have lots of this to spin up, lots of stuff to card up. So much fun to be had with fiber. One last thank you to Lori, one of my viewers out there. You are so generous. Lori sent me 2 packages in the mail. She did send me another package of spin-off magazines, and I found, I think I said this before, found some more. No, that was the old magazines. No, I found more dyeing articles. There's so much good stuff in here. Beautiful patterns, stuff about wheels, all kinds of things. But she also sent me a box of a lot of her sewing, some pieces of fabric, lots of beautiful yarn, and some books and circular needles. I now have a whole selection of beautiful circular needles, just the kind I like, the bamboo ones. So I am set to go. Lori, thank you so much. Those are both wonderful packages to get in the mail, and it was so sweet of you to send them. All right, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this little hodgepodge video, and I'll see you again later. Bye-bye.